Hello, this is Dr. Elizabeth Lucas of Lalo. Once again, you're welcome to this special where I share my nugget of wisdom. Thank you, and thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Today, guess what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about love, peace, and happiness. Love is the greatest and is everything to life. We need to continue to learn and learn and learn and get better for life transformation. Love empowers. And one of the ways to empower ourselves and others is to raise the banner of love. And it shows better to live happily, peacefully, and unite together. And together make a change in this world, starting from individuals, families, society, communication, and the world. As they said, charity begins at home and from home to the world. God is love, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. God's laws and principles is based on love, and it comprises of loving God, loving yourself, and loving others. And by his grace is sufficient for us to keep his laws and principles. It takes determination and discipline and our level of understanding and maturity to demonstrate this kind of love. So what does the Bible say about love? In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 to 3. Let's read together. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but do not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move the mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship labor, that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is envy. No, love does not envy, does not boast, and it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, nor disrespect them. It does not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And we're talking about this kind of love. Now, these three may remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of all is love. The only way to live happily, peacefully, harmony with one another in this world is for everyone to admit it that we are all different. We are all not perfect, and we all can make mistakes. We are all have the ability to choose our tradition, religions, or ways to serve God, the universe, the culture, and still respect one another. We all have the ability to choose. Better understanding brings peace and unity and love. Agape love is what we want to express in this place. Agape love is selfless love, unconditional love, It is spiritual love, a boundless compassion love that is without desire and expectation, regardless of the flow and shortcomings of others. This love can be classified as intuition, divine truth, and love that accepts others, forgives, and believes for our greater good. The components of love are intimacy, passion, compassion, commitment, and caring. Let me add to it kindness. Love requires listening to one another, overcoming together all our challenges and obstacles. Value one another, add value to yourself, and add value to others, and enjoy life together. This life is too short, but we can enjoy where we are with whoever surrounds us to where we are going. In the midst of storm, crisis, adversity, challenges, condition beyond our controls, love is paramount. And love will bring peace, harmony, and unity. Love protects the future, saves lives, and unifies people. Carl Benjamin stated that they may forget what you said, but they will not forget how you made them feel. How do you make others feel? Do you tear them down? Do you gossip about them? Do you speak to them wrongly and disrespect them? How you make them feel matters. So watch what you say and what you do to others in us walking in love. So let us talk about three things that are missing in love: relationship and marriage. Ignorance and lack of understanding, very important. We are lacking. We don't even know what love is all about. People enter into marriage, they don't know anything about it. I think it is time for us to establish more institution for people to come and learn about love, family, marriages, and relationship. Because either we like it or not, we need relationship. We need to relate with one another, either in a secular world, professionalism, or even in our own area or family. We need to understand better about love, relationship, marriage, and family. So, and then the next one is lack of vision. The reason why I add this to it is without vision, people perished. Let me add this to it. When you don't have a vision, you jump from one place to another. You do all kinds of things. You even frustrate yourself and frustrate everyone around you. When you have a vision and you focus and start working towards your goals, you don't have time to be doing unnecessary things. So that is what I said. The lack of vision is very important. As husband and wife, you need to have a vision. As a man, as a woman, even as young girls and boys, you need to have a vision. Because if you don't have a vision, you don't have a platform to work on, to live on, and to better yourself. If you don't have a vision, you won't know what to do next. If you don't have a vision and you don't set a goals, you will be distracted, you will be confused, and you will be disappointed. So it's very important that we know that lack of vision is one of the reasons why people are fighting one another. How do you have a vision? Or why do you have to have a vision? Why do you have that vision? You need to know your why. And guess what? Your why must relate to your purpose on earth. What's your purpose? And who are you? Do you know your identity? Do you know the skills and the gifts and talents that you have that you can use? Do you recognize who you are? Do you try to find who you are and your purpose? Because everything around you will fit into your purpose. So when you know your purpose, then you can plan your vision. And when you have your vision, you plan and set your goals and work towards it. Unknown of our identity of who we are, like I just said to you. Then the next one is, what can we say about love? Do you know anything about love? Do you read books? Do you go to seminars about relationship, building relationship, love, marriage, family? You need to have a knowledge before you enter into it. Because what you know is what you will demonstrate in your life, in your marriage, or in your family, even among people. What about our faith, our traditions, our beliefs, our religions, our tribes, families, relatives, and people's opinion? How can this contribute and influence our love for a love, relationship, marriage, and family? I think it goes a long way. So when we start to learn, to observe, and then we're able to learn and become better. Knowledge is very important because you keep learning until you get it right. Learning is lifelong. And as long as you live, you keep learning. For tomorrow will bring a better things than today. And you can become better and brighter, stronger and wiser. All you need to keep learning. Knowledge is very important. So if you want to know more about relationship, about marriage, about love, before you even enter into it, then you'll be prepared. You can't know it all because the more you are enter into that relationship, the more you gain knowledge, the more your eyes will be open. But if you have prepared yourself, at least you will know that no matter the situation, no matter the circumstances, you are keep learning and you are not perfect and you cannot walk alone. So that is the more reason why we should keep learning. Keep preparing yourself. Learn more about relationship. Learn more about marriage. Learn more about building family. Learn more about love. There's so many resources out there. And if you need a mentor, you can contact us on www.yesyoucaninternational.com or www.yesyoucanbyelizabeth.com, and we can guide you and mentor you in this area of building a deeper relationship and have a good life and happy. We assumed, so we assume too much in our relationship. We assume that we are either perfect or our spouse is perfect. We assume that someone's only purpose of marriage is only to fulfill intimacy, make babies, take care of the children, kitchen and domestic. And that leads to insecurity, threat, jealousy, blaming, condemning, and envy. We assume that we can change the other person or our spouse when we get married. You cannot change anybody. You can only change yourself. We assume that our marriage will be like our parents or our friends. Do you know their stories? Do you know their pains? Do you know what they've adapted to? Do you know how they've be tolerant with one another? So if you see somebody and you think, oh, this marriage, this perfect, I would like my own to be like that, then be ready to face it. Be ready to fight the battle together and be ready to make a change and be ready to go through the canals of the journey of lives. We assume, and it is our duty to love and suffer in silence for the sake of religion, tradition, society, children. No, it is not your duty. No one should be suffering silence. You need to speak out, seek for help. You cannot kill yourself quietly. You need to seek for help. So this is a wrong assumption that you need to love and suffer in violence. And can I also quickly say, loving someone doesn't say that you have to tolerate their violence and anger. No, move away from that environment. It's dangerous and it's risky. So what will people say? Sometimes we depend and we are so afraid to make a decision, to take a steps, to come out of a comfort zone and to stand out because we have the fear of what people say. Some people will be suffering in their own house, and instead of them taking action, they are afraid of what people will say. But guess what? If the worst comes to worse, the people will not be there when you are for suffering and when you end up being killed by somebody else. So financial is also another problem. Financial security. And that is why on Y.Y.C.I International, we are ready to train you, to mentor you, and to lead you and guide you for you to create your own wealth, for you to develop your own business, and for you to be a better leader out there. So financial security is also one of the problems that we are all facing in every home. But we can overcome it by doing the right thing and seeking for help. Guilty and victim of all this, which are some are still suffering and pretend all is well, or afraid to speak out and they don't know what to do. Let me put this to you. If you are at the crossroad and you don't know what to do, you can't go forward and you can't go backward. You go to the left, there's no solution. Go to the right, there's no solution. But you need to seek for help. You don't keep quiet, you keep silent. Seek for help. Seek for mentors. Read more about what you want to do. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, by the way, because out of your mistakes, you learn more and become better in everything you are doing. So these are the kind of things that we need to really work towards to eradicate all this violence and anger and abuse and everything out there that doesn't glorify itself. The dangerous thing is when you have to be quiet and pleases everyone and the situation escalates and leads to violence, suicidal, mental health, abuse, and eventually death. But the truth is, we all have a choice and right to make decisions for our lives and get better, understanding on how it works. However, majority don't know themselves. They don't know their purpose and they don't know their right as a man and as a woman. We misquoted and misjudged and misunderstood what love is all about, what relationship is all about, what marriage and family is all about. Tell me, how many schools or colleges of love, relationship, marriage, and family are there? Do we have out there? Because if we have so many of these, then we can gain better knowledge and get better understanding even before we enter into any relationship. We will know how to deal with conflicts. We will know how to adapt to change and be flexible. We will know how to be tolerant. And we will know also how to treat ourselves by, with respect. Are we really ready to learn from our mistakes and willing to change and make a change in this world? Because it takes two to work it out. I'll say that again. It takes two to work it out. You cannot demonstrate your love without a relationship. So it takes two to work it out. Sometimes we might need to humble ourselves to use the magic words of, I am sorry, I love you, thank you, or please, and forgive one another and acknowledge one another, celebrating one another. Sometimes we need to focus more on other person's strengths than weaknesses. I know that sometimes is difficult. We all look into loophole of others. We all look into their shame, their weaknesses, their mistakes, their failures when they fall down. But permit me to encourage you today to change the way you look at others. Mindset is about perspective. It's about perception. It's about judgment. It's about how you see others. Permit me to also express to you that if God sees us as a failure, do you think we can progress? If God sees us as a useless person, do you think that we can do what we are doing? But He knows that we can do better than what we are doing right now. And that's why He never give up on us. And He keep on releasing His strength, and His grace is sufficient for us. The fact is, every human being has their strength and weaknesses. 60% can be our strength and 40% can be our weakness. But everyone, including me, tends to focus on the people's 40% than 60%. Even ourselves, we lament too much on what we can't do. We lament too much on our failures, our skills, our failures, our weaknesses, instead of us to appreciate the fact that we are who God says we are, and we have the power to change things around. We have greatness in us, and we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. We forget that we are wonderfully made by God. And for something to be made and be created and be good, then we are good and we are great. So sometimes we put ourselves down. We trust on our weaknesses even more than our strength. And whatever you have placed yourself is the way you place others. You focus on their weakness. You focus on their failures. You are looking for loophole. You are looking for their weakness. Same thing happens even in marriages and in family. And we need to change that perspective. So things will get better and there will be peace, joy, harmony, and love at home if we change the way we look at others, if we change the way we treat ourselves, if we change the way we treat others. As I was growing myself, I started learning. So it is not you alone. I also learn from my mistakes too. Remember, no one is perfect, and we are all learning every day. The question I need to ask you is, how often do we train our children about the facts and the truth about love, marriage, and relationship, and of moral values and relationship skills, how to deal and handle criticism, challenges, adversities, disappointments, emotional intelligence, and even mental issues? Unfortunately, the problem of love, relationship, marriage, and family still exists, and it's escalating every day in the society, community, and nation. And from generation to generation, the problem is still exists, but we all have the solution right there in our mind. And it is time to share, to speak, and to spread the message. Men and women are responsible for their marriage and relationship. That's why they said charity begins at home. Who is who and who is speaking the truth about love, relationship, and marriage? Few, I suppose. Majority of us all pretend all is well, and that doesn't solve any problem.